Hello, and welcome to the Continental Divide Trail Coalition's Blaze the CDT training seminar. Thank you all for your support of the Continental Divide Trail. We're excited to be celebrating our 40th anniversary of being designated a National Scenic Trail. We hope to get hundreds of volunteers out on the trail to sign, and we are proud to have you as one of them. The Continental Divide National Scenic Trail is a congressionally designated trail spanning 3,100 miles along the spine of the Continental Divide. The trail traverses a variety of landscapes and settings that influence which type of trail marker or trail sign to use. Generally speaking, the CDT should be assigned at road crossings, trailheads, trail intersections, and along areas for reassurance. But when in doubt, mark the trail. There are always exceptions, which can be reviewed in the Continental Divide Trail Marking Guide. This PowerPoint summarizes trail marking policy and best management practices to promote a consistent approach to marking the CDT. As a CDT blazer, your goals are to successfully and correctly sign your assigned segment according to the CDT signing standards. You will replace damaged plastic blazes with the appropriate new sign, or install new signs in areas otherwise unmarked. Upon completion of your segment, you will report back to the CDTC by filling out the blazer report form. Prior to going out into the field, all blazers must sign a liability form, which was part of your registration form, a volunteer agreement, which was sent via email, and a job hazard analysis, which can be found in Appendix C of the Blaze Manual. These documents protect both the volunteer, the land agency, and the Continental Divide Trail Coalition in case there is an unforeseen issue or injury on the trail. After you have been given your assigned segment, you'll receive your signing kits in the mail near the end of April to early May. This signing kit will include the official CDT Trail Marking Guide, any gear or tools you requested, your segment map, and CDT signs. The number of signs you receive is dependent on the identified signing needs shown on your segment map. Extra signs are allotted to each blazer based on their segment length. CDTC will cover shipping costs to get you your signing kit. However, we ask that your tools and extra signs be mailed back to our office after you complete blazing your assigned segment. You will have to pay for these shipping costs. If it is more convenient, you can opt to drop off your extra signs and tools with a Gateway community organizer. Each signing kit that a blazer receives in the mail will have enameled metal, wood-routed, wood-branded, or trailhead signs. Each signing kit will be catered to the blazer segment depending on topography, land cover, and land designation. The extra signs you receive can be installed along areas of the trail using your best judgment. These extra signs can be installed in confusing areas or to replace old plastic signs. Some high alpine segments of the CDT will require blazers to reinforce or build rock cairns along the trail. The CDTC has developed georeference segment maps for each segment of the trail that needs signing. On the segment map, you'll find your segment description, scale, north arrow, and points along the trail that represent different varieties of CDT signs that need to be installed or replaced. Since our staff is unable to inventory the entirety of the trail, the accuracy of each sign point may vary depending on how thoroughly it was signed in the past and whether signs have been stolen. If the land cover does not allow you to sign at the designated location on the segment map, the next best area to install a sign will suffice. Use your best judgment. The majority of signing on the CDT will be with the 3.5-inch enameled metal markers. These markers are for use outside designated wilderness areas and can be installed on wooden posts or nailed to trees. Most blazers will be installing these signs on trees. To properly do this, the sign must be installed 5 to 7 feet above the ground and on both sides of the tree, so both northbound hikers and southbound hikers will know that they are on the correct trail. The sign must be installed in an upward direction and should not be oriented to indicate direction. Once you begin to nail the signs to the tree, make sure to leave 1 inch of nail protruding from the tree with the sign pulled taut to the head of the nail. Leaving this 1 inch of room will allow the tree to grow. If installing a metal blaze on a post, leave 3 inches of room from the top of the post and install it on both sides of the post. Wooden routed markers are the only acceptable trail markers inside wilderness designated areas. The wilderness markers we are providing blazers are 7 inches by 7 inches white ash finished with linseed oil for a natural appearance. Similar to metal blazes, they must be installed 5 to 7 feet above the ground and on both sides of a tree. Nail both the top and bottom of the wooden signs while leaving 1 inch of room for tree growth. Again, do not orient them to denote direction. Install them straight up and down on the tree. Some blazers will be working in desert or high alpine areas of the CDT, where rock cairns are the only option for signing the trail. Rock cairns can be used inside and outside wilderness designated areas. Blazers must make sure they are not disrupting any archaeological sites when collecting rocks for a cairn. It is also important not to pull rocks directly out of the trail corridor. When one disrupts the corridor of the trail by removing its natural features, the trail no longer has its wild characteristics. Excavate rocks out of sight from trail users when possible. Rock cairns must be 3 feet tall and be tightly constructed of relatively flat native rocks. Rock cairns need to be stable enough to withstand inclement weather and the changing of the seasons. This picture is a great example of a rock cairn that will stand the test of time. Even constructing a cairn half the size of the one in this picture will be sure to help hikers stay on the CDT. Blazers will not be installing posts in the middle of their cairns. Intersections are often the most confusing part of marking a trail. To properly blaze intersections, the blazer must first place a marker 10 yards before and after an intersection. Placing blazes before and after the intersection will help trail users be confident in the direction of the CDT. When marking intersections, make sure to install signs on both sides of the tree. Blazers are given enough extra signs to be able to sign intersections correctly. Some CDT blazers will have assigned segments of the CDT that include official trailheads. Your signing kit will include large 9-inch CDT metal signs for signing trailhead kiosks. These images show great examples of how to install these signs properly on kiosks with nails flush with the signing surface. If the kiosk has a fiberglass frame or is under lock and key, the CDTC does not suggest signing the trailhead kiosk because you will need an agency partner to help with installation. When one is unable to sign a trailhead, please let CDTC know and send back your trailhead signs once you have completed signing the rest of your segment. When the CDT intersects a secondary Forest Service or Bureau of Land Management road, a sign needs to be installed on either side of the road intersection, approximately 3 to 5 feet from the road itself. The 3.5-inch metal signs need to be installed 5 to 7 feet above the ground on both sides of a tree, with an inch of nail protruding from the tree to allow growth. When signing your segment of trail, make sure to avoid using other materials other than the official CDT markers provided in your signing kit. Some old signs may be melted, faded, or destroyed by animals. If this is the case, then the blazer may remove the sign and replace it with a new blaze. Blazers can also remove an old damaged sign and not replace it. This may be the case if signing feels too frequent on their segment. High alpine and desert regions of the trail may have cairns or confidence posts instead of blazed trees. If the cairns and posts are in rough shape, the CDTC recommends re-establishing these markers by building up the rock base or straightening out the post. Plastic signs nailed to posts may be replaced with metal blazes if necessary. If the post is in disrepair, Please record this and include it on your Blazer report form. It may be the case that some segments of the CDT were recently blazed with metal markers, but the Forest Service or the CDTC are unaware of it. Blazers instead may scout their section and record how many blazes are on the trail. This is helpful for the Forest Service and the CDTC to stay up to date with signing conditions in certain areas. Blazers need to report back to the CDTC once they have completed signing their segment. The Blazer report form will be available on CDTC's website, or we can provide a hard copy for those interested. To be able to fill out the report form to the best of your ability, it is suggested you bring a pen and paper on your blazing trip to record the number of signs installed, number of cairns built or repaired, and other notes you would like to share about your segment. You've completed signing your segment. Congratulations, but we want to hear your story. Posting photos and a brief account of your volunteer experience or why you decided to blaze the CDT is a great way to inspire your friends to give back to their public lands. Follow these tips so you are associated with this amazing campaign. On the Blazer report form, you will also find a section where you can upload your favorite image of signing the trail, and it might make it onto one of our social media pages. We can't wait to hear your story. Happy trails and good luck!